And we're live.
Do you think you'll ever go back and do some more vlogs like that, or not really interested at the moment, at least?
It doesn't excite me. I was thinking of doing them for my trip.
That's a good idea. I mean, it's
daily.
2 months away. Plenty of time to amp yourself up about it.
I kind of want it documented, you know, like even just for me and family or whatever, you know, to show the adventure. It's almost a way to like communicate with guys while I'm gone. Like, hey, this is what it is. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm doing. I'm going with a buddy. Oh, Harley doesn't know. Harley, on June 4th, I said
motorcycle trip?
Motorcycle trip from North Carolina to Oregon and then back some way via dirt roads. And apparently there's something called the TransAm Trail, which is basically gravel roads, mountain passes, shit like that. That's all sort of off-road. And that's what I intend to do. The East Coast.
That sounds really awesome. Paved. The fact that it's off-road also sounds really awesome. That sounds like a really cool aspect to it. There's like a trail you can only take with like a bike. You wouldn't be able to get in there with a car.
Mostly, yeah. They call that single track when it's just like motorcycle width, and there's some single track in there. A lot of it is just like gravel roads and stuff, like a gravel driveway would be.
Cool.
What speed will you be going at? Because if it's a lot of it is dirt and gravel, like 40 miles an hour, 50. Like, I don't even know motorcycle wise. Like, how fast will you be going?
I think there's parts of it. Like, so in North Carolina, actually, a lot of it's paved. There's just some like river crossings, but paved. And in there, of course, you'll be able to go like 50, 70. It looks, I watched a ton of videos on this on the dirt roads. I'm estimating these guys are going like 30, you know, something like that.
Oh, damn. No wonder
it's gonna be a long trip, but like it's not about getting there fast, or he'd be on the interstate.
Yeah, it's the journey.
Or if he just wanted to get to Oregon, there's a flight every day. You know, like,
where do you sleep? Are you getting in hotels? You have like hotel strip, or do you like camp out at all?
There's two ways to do it. You can do it via camping or hotel. My buddy's like, so we're doing hotels, right? Or motels. Like, picture small town bed and breakfast, Airbnb type things. And I think we're doing it that way. Part of it is I'm not that good at motorcycles, especially off-road. I have real limited off-road experience. And if you camp for even one day, shit, you're bringing like the capacity to cool food, cook food, tents, rain gear, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Whereas you can save a lot in gear if you're not camping. So that, I think that's the thought. Just lighten up the bike by 80 pounds by not camping.
What kind of bike do you have?
It's a BMW G650 GS. It's an adventure motorcycle. Their smaller one. I could show a picture of it.
Yeah, please.
Is that they call it?
How long you
motorcycle? That's interesting.
How long have you been a motorcycle? I didn't even know that. Did I know that? Did we ever talk about that? And by the way, the link that I put there was for a Luther book that I read. That if you liked what Kyle was going off on, it's all from the perspective of Luther. It's just by Brian Azzarello. For those listening, if you're interested, Brian Azzarello, DC app, check it out if you want. Or not, fuck DC. I don't give a shit. They're not fucking paying PKA. They could suck our dicks. Suck our little sour Jewish dicks.
I got a link was going to have a bunch of
fantasy book series first. I can't buy any more books.
I like that black one there.
That's what mine is. It's black like
That's
that.
what you have. That's sick.
So what amount of weight?
This is like, I don't want to disrespect it. I don't want to disrespect it, but this is like the thing I always jump on in like open world video games. If you have this as an option, like I'm going on that. This is like like I don't know if you played the latest Ghost Recons, but they have some of these like, and you're like going up and down like dirt roads and shit like that. This looks like it's between, and I don't know anything about that. I'm talking on my ass. It looks like it's in between like a sick ass motorcycle on roads and like a sick ass dirt bike. It looks like it's
behind it. Yeah, like it's not as hardcore enduro like, you know, as a pure dirt bike, but it's meant to be a little of both.
Well,
what's enduro? What do you mean enduro?
Will you have huge saddlebags on that?
To saddlebags and a top case maybe, which goes like on the very back behind the passenger, like a boxy thing.
What's a top case? Shit. When did you get into motorcycles?
Container on the back and then like 2 giant saddlebags on the side, right?
Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong.
Because if you're gonna potentially camp, you're gonna have to carry a good bit of stuff.
I think
he said he wasn't gonna camp.
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah, fuck it. Camping's stupid. Unless you want to low key fuck your friend, then camping would be hot.
No, I want to high key fuck Kyle.
So,
bro, Blazer Kyle he could blast all of us, right, boys?
Mine doesn't look just like this, but this is what a top case is. It's that case behind.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, I know this.
Yeah. The thing I linked, like I think we talked about this last time, and I've talked about it ad nauseum. I know everybody doesn't want to keep
Indians.
hearing the same shit, but
This is
um,
such an aesthetically pleasing bike. This Indian, it looks so cool.
I know, right? I fucking love it.
I don't like the red as much. I think it would
I
look
don't like the
better.
red either. I'm black. I'm all
Black or
about.
something. Maybe even matte, like a matte dark gray finish.
We're same fucking page, brother. Either black, shiny black, matte black, or the matte silver that they do as well. In 185 days, I'm moving, and like this is pretty high on my list of priorities that I want. Like I want that fucking motorcycle, and they're cheap, as you can see. Like
Yeah, it's $9,000.
and that's a brand new 2021 is $9,000. Like granted, that's probably the non-ABS model that's being like promoted there, and I do want anti-lock brakes. But used, you can pick these up for $6,000, $5,000, even if you get one a couple years old. I want the current body style, which you're looking at there. I'm not exactly sure when the body style changed, but that's neither here nor there. That's a little bit down the road. But yeah, I like that bike a lot. It doesn't have the versatility of what Woody has, but I I like the
You're not really
style of
looking
it.
for
Whatever
versatility.
fits your mission, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
I mean,
no
I
idea.
really do like Woody's bike a lot. Like it, Woody's bike looks like it looks utilitarian.
How
It
much
looks
is your bike,
sleek.
Woody?
So they don't make it anymore. New, it was like 7,500, and I think I got it for.
Man, I have no
Five
concept
or
of how much
something.
motorcycles cost. I'm shocked.
Is that
I
higher?
don't
Or
I
lower?
like. I looked at your motorcycle and I thought that was like a $20,000 thing, and then the one that I'm looking at here, I'm like, I would have thought that was $20,000. I have no concept. Then again, I'm also automatically thinking Canadian numbers, and like a Ski-Doo is like $15,000, and I
Like
don't know why I didn't think.
like
Yeah, I don't know
the
why I didn't think.
like some brands are really expensive. Like Harley Davidsons can be $20,000, like you said. Ducatis like can be really expensive.
That I
Indi-
knew. I knew that was an expensive brand, but I still thought
Let me show you
it
the
was like
bike that I
price of a
love.
Civic or something.
I just want to squeeze in. I feel like I dodged Harley's question twice. When I got into motorcycles, as a teenager and in my 20s, I rode motorcycles all the time. I didn't have a car, so that was how I got everywhere. And then there was a huge gap, and I got this bike 4 years ago. I rode it, kind of didn't ride it for like 2 years, and now I'm back at it. So
So
yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off at the end.
That's cool.
So this link right here is the bike that I love the way it looks. I think it's super fucking sexy in that color scheme that it's being like put in there, but it's way too fast for me. I'm a completely inexperienced rider, and I think the Scout 60 is a lot more stable. I've seen people suggest it as a first bike, which seems a little crazy at 1,000 cc's or whatever it is, 1,100, I think maybe. But my thing is like, just don't fucking twist the fucking accelerator that hard. And I have no interest in going fast or like what like a bike guy would consider fast. Like the speed limits are fine with me, if that makes sense. I have no interest in going 100 miles an hour, even much less 150, 200 miles an hour, which some of these crazy high end sport bikes are capable of. But this bike, this 1200 Indian, this FTR, is so sexy to me.
I don't
Have
like
you seen the Fort 9 video on this bike? I'm pretty sure it's this one.
If it's made recently, no, but like if you go back 6 months, I watched every video for every bike
He
that
does
was
a
current.
video, and I think it's this motorcycle, about like what beauty is in a motorcycle. And he points out this sort of like line, the red one that goes from the bottom left to the upper right through the shock uninterrupted. He points out the special effort they put into towards making the top of the motorcycle level like it is, right? That's not all bikes are like that. The fork rake, like they go through all this effort to make this a beautiful motorcycle. And he's like, a lot of this stuff you wouldn't appreciate unless you're a designer. But if you're a regular person, you just look at it and say, ooh, I like. And that's where I am on this. I'm like, yeah, I like this. I instantly liked it. And then I'm like, oh, wait, this is the one from that video that the designers really put a lot of effort into making this so wonderful. I like this.
I like that it's upright. It's an upright bike too. I like that. Like it's not full on fucking rear peg bike. You know, it appeals to me a lot.
Rear peg.
Rear peg.
Rear peg, eh?
Yeah, rear peg bike will get you fucking
I
rear
did not
peg. That's what it'll do.
understand that.
Yeah, I have no interest in that. But man, The Indian motorcycles really appeal to me. They're American bikes. I think they're older than Harley. I think they're the original American bike. Could be wrong about that. Probably.
I wouldn't know.
But Harley is, from what I've read anyway, I'm not a bike guy. I don't pretend to be. But Harley seems to me to be very overpriced, and they don't get nearly as much bang for your buck, and you don't get as much bang for your cubic centimeter of engine displacement either. Like
just the optics of it, how it looks. Like I just linked something because I was curious, and Harley was 100% on the dot. $20,000 for this 2021 Pan American 1250 Special Harley Davidson. This thing this thing looks way less cool than your Indian or Woody's bike.
If you told me this Harley was a $3,000 bike, I would have believed you.
It doesn't even look cool.
It looks like a fucking scooter. It looks so.
But they're jacked.
ugly.
Their prices are jacked up, aren't they, Harley Davidson?
Big time.
It's not just the coloring of it. Scroll down and you'll see more versions of it that are even more expensive. They all look shitty. None of them are cool. I wouldn't pass. I don't know shit about bikes, probably less than anyone here. But if I were to pass one of those, like a $20,000 bike, which is apparently very nice, I wouldn't register that. I would think that was like, oh yeah, someone cobbled together a bike out of miscolored parts. Like it
looks like shit.
I watched that Fortnite video. I just looked up the video that I saw. That it was the Harley Davidson killed itself video, the Fortnite one.
Yeah.
That was a sick ass video, and it was like just talking about how motorcycles were so cool coming back from the war and stuff like that, and then Harley Davidson fucking with their prices to make it seem like more of like not designer, but like something like that. Like, sometimes it like gets people interested, and then what they did. And they get like, I don't know, was it subsidizing, but they get a lot of help from the government or whatever it is.
What's those Sons of Anarchy bikes where like the pipes or the tubes go down really low and the wheels way out front?
Are you looking for Chopper?
Is that what it's called? The Chopper?
It's like the style.
Well, it's a style of bike. Really.
That's what I always associate as a non-bike knowledge haver of Harleys. Like I always assume that's what Harley means, like a chopper.
Me too.
Harley's trying. So this is an adventure bike, like in the same class as mine. I actually like mine more, but maybe I'm biased.
For sure, yours looks cooler.
But Harley's making electric bikes now. They're doing everything they can so that they can expand their market beyond, 65-year-old dentists who are the people buying it today.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to appeal to kids, adventure bikes, whatever. They're just they're like, look, our market is drying up. 7 years from now, they're all going to stop buying motorcycles. So how do we get the next gen of buyers? And
what is the benefit of a chopper style motorcycle? Is it more comfortable to ride? Is it the visual that people like?
I think it's about the visual. Yeah, you're kind of doing a sit up a little bit. They usually have back support, like the way that the seat sits. Yeah. But I've ridden one. It wasn't for me. I felt like maybe I'm just uncomfortable with it, but I didn't feel that in control. The upright style that Kyle likes and that I have is the most comfortable for me. Just sitting on top. But yeah, I don't know. I like Harley. Sometimes I think about getting one. I'm on Craigslist all the time looking for more bikes now, but I don't even know what I want. I see like, or I'll like, oh, this is what I want. I want this. Then I see it and I'm like, but
get an Indian Scout 60. I know right where you can keep it.
This FTR looks cool. How much is it? Oh, 11.5 is not as high as I expected.
You can't
I bet that's non-ABS. If I had to guess.
I looked in the wrong spot. That was like previous models starting as low as 11.5. No, these are 15, 17.
Yeah. So, but and I watched a video. The gauges are very cool. Everything about it's real cool. I don't know. It's a cool bike, but it's not the one that I'm going to get. I'm almost certainly going to get the Scout 60, which I'm pretty sure the only difference between the Scout 60 and the Scout is one less gear. I don't need 6 gears.
Dude, honestly, I'm on Harley Davidson's website. I'm looking at all their models. These are the ugliest bikes in America. These are terrible. There aren't any choppers. There's nothing cool. It looks like shittier versions of what you guys are both interested in. The Indian you have, or you're selecting, Kyle, very cool aesthetically. Woody, your BMW, very cool. I like the finish you decided on. I wouldn't have liked it if it was colored, but I like it.
It doesn't look good on their website, but I've seen videos and stuff of their electric motorcycle that I thought were pretty cool. The
What's
live
the
wire.
benefit Or I bet an electric motorcycle doesn't have any problems with range because isn't that the biggest complaint with the cars?
It has
That the
huge
range is
problems
shitty?
with range. It has
Really?
yes.
Yeah,
It's like
because electric cars have room for a gigantic battery.
But they
Yeah.
still have range problems. They'll be like, oh, 200 miles, 250
It's
miles.
like 100 miles on a motorcycle.
That's fucking bullshit. It's so much smaller. It should be better.
So is the battery, right? Like
Yeah, if you want to tow a battery behind you on like a little U-Haul trailer, then
weight
you
is
go a
very
long way.
important on a
You just go
motorcycle.
forever with a bunch of car batteries on a U-Haul. You look like an asshole though.
Weight's a big deal on a motorcycle because if it tips even a little bit, then all of a sudden that's you pulling it up. And so they have this balance, like how light can they keep it? They have problems with range, but also I'm told, I've never ridden an electric motorcycle, that because it's so quiet, you like connect to the road in a different way. You're not hearing the engine, you're hearing the tires on asphalt, you're hearing the birds. It's a different sort of zooming environment that's really pleasant. And I think it sounds attractive to me, but I haven't tried it.
Isn't a big reason that a lot of people get motorcycle, or I guess this is probably also a chopper thing. Like they like the loud noise it makes. Regular motorcycles don't quite boom that
right?
volume.
A lot of car
that's
guys.
a pipe thing. Like you can put different pipes, and your motorcycle can be as loud and obnoxious as you want it to be. But one of the things about, there's that South Park bit about, what do you call somebody that rides one of those loud Harleys up and down the street and ruins everybody's time? A faggot. And you can see it that way, but the reason that a lot of people want loud pipes is because you are on a two-wheeled rocket ship that is one little nudge away from you spinning down the interstate at 80 miles per hour with nothing between you and the asphalt but your fucking pants and your shirt.
And
So
your
they
skin.
want to be loud enough, and your skin, meat crayon style. So they want to be loud enough that people know you're there. The problem is,
Oh,
you
I
don't want
didn't
everybody
even
to
think
know
about that.
you're there when you know who the biggest douchebags in the fucking world are? Those people with radio systems on their bikes that ride through town. Like there's a nice little area near me with like lots of little hippie coffee shops and like antique stores and shit. And it's mostly foot traffic, and there's speed bumps to slow the cars down. It's a nice little area. We go there, we hang out. It's a real nice place to go. And this cocksucker comes riding through on his loud ass motorcycle, and he's just boom, boom, and I'm like, what a douchebag. And then he starts playing Kid Rock so fucking loud that you can hear it inside the fucking coffee
What
shop.
an asshole.
Oh, I agree.
Cowboy,
You know who
well,
I
I'm
hate?
looking up my game and I'm gonna head out west.
He likes the song so much that everybody has to listen to it.
I'm with
Yeah.
Kyle, but this behavior, the twist on it. So now, COVID, outdoor seating. I'm always doing outdoor seating at restaurants, ideally with a propane heater or something. Those guys that start their loud ass bike and take like 10 minutes of warming up before they leave, just fucking go. You are bothering everybody out here. There is a whole restaurant full of people sitting outside because of the coronavirus, listening to you warm up your goddamn noisemaker. That if your bike takes 10 minutes to warm up, fucking get a different one. Just start it and leave. That's how my bike, I warm it up for like as long as it takes to put my gloves on. What, 40
You're 100%
seconds?
right. It's so fucking inconsiderate to do.
Yeah.
It's like someone being like, oh, it's a little chilly out. I don't want my car to be even a little chilly. So I'm going to go roll all my windows down, turn on my car, and turn the radio up I'm going to put on the oldies as loud as it goes. You're a fucking dickhead. You're a rude person. Don't do that.
It infuriates me. I'll never be that guy. Even if I had a loud bike, I don't know, think about the people around you. Just start it and leave.
Yeah, I'd start and be like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, I'm very excited about this trip. All my waking moments are thinking about it, preparing for it. Just spent 3 days working on my motorcycle. I did a task that should probably have taken one. And, but it's finished now. And tomorrow I'm going to ride it.
Very nice.
Sounds awesome. That's a cool ass trip.
So, no, it would be the perfect apex is if your interest in this met with your interest in outdoor survival, and so you were like camping the whole way. But I'm also glad that that's not the case, because that would have absolutely ruined your trip. it would have been so unpleasant. Like day 2, and you're like, I'm so tired of beans.
There's the sleep apnea thing too. I'm like, how am I going to sleep with the CPAP machine and charge it every? What am I gonna charge this? Like run off a battery and then charge it off my bike all day long during the drive? How am I wiring this? And like that kind of thing. It's so much nicer to just stay in a motel and not have camping gear to bring around. And
the BPAP machine helps you fall asleep, obviously, but ever since you got it, has the act of like laying in bed, putting it on your face, also helped you fall asleep because it's like this is sleep mode time. We're finalized. That's it. Whereas like if you were just laying there regular, you might be like, oh man, I want to watch another motorcycle video. I want to. You know what? I'm not quite tired enough yet. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, we're initiating the sleep sequence. We're going to put this thing on and go to bed. It doesn't help me fall asleep, although maybe it does. It helps me stay asleep. That's the big thing.